Rock Nation Sports is a growing force in the world of sports management. In a short space of time, the company has snapped up some of the world's top athletes and joined forces with leading sports brands. Among their clients are the Sharks, who announced a groundbreaking partnership earlier this year. Fiso Mazibuko sat down with Temba Bavuma at the Shark Tank.
We live in a country where there's a number of sporting stars that are making moves, big moves, global moves. Now I'm joined by a superstar. His name is Temba Bavuma. Wow, a Rock Nation athlete. It's got a nice ring to it, Temba.
Sounds good when you say it.
Temba, I'm looking at people at home who are watching and they're looking at the colors, Chelsea, Sharks. Are you changing sporting codes, no?
Nah, definitely not changing sporting codes. I'm happy with where I am.
I thought I'd be seeing you running down the wing or at scrum half. Is rugby a thing that you ever enjoyed?
I played rugby at school. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I never saw it as a career. It was just for enjoyment. And yeah, now I find myself in the rugby space again, not on the field, but more off the field, in the gym with the guys, trying to get strong, I guess.
I want to just touch on, obviously, signing for Rock Nation, the significance of it. I mean, I remember when I saw the promo video and I thought there's some big names on that promo video. I mean, it's pretty exciting for anyone to be involved in a global brand of that magnitude.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I guess, for myself, looking at where I am in my career, I feel it's something that is needed. I foresee a lot kind of happening in the next coming years. And I felt that I needed kind of to strengthen the team around me, to provide me with the necessary support, resources to be able to deal with everything that's coming. And there's no better team like Rock Nations to be able to provide me with that support.
I mean, when you, I guess, got the call or when you found out that there was an interest, I mean, take me through that mental space as a young black South African man, I guess, spreading his wings.
Yeah, look, I mean, the interest was always there. I remember last year the conversation happened, but to be honest, I never took much interest in it. I guess then I was in a different space. My priorities were a bit different. Then when I came again this year, actually met the guys, and I got to hear what the offering was, what they were proposing, how they plan to kind of take me from here to here. That kind of sold me. And it was more, not just myself, the cricket, but the work that I do with the foundation and how they were gonna add value here. For me, it was a no-brainer. And I mean, like you said, when you hear Rock Nation, when you've seen what they've done on the international scale, when you see the athletes, the clients who are under them, you also want to be part of all that excellence, of all that brilliance.
Big single, Bavuma hits the stumps. Is it going to be out? Yes, it is. Outstanding stuff from Temba Bavuma. That is just absolutely brilliant. What a massive wicket that is.
Yeah, there's moments in every test match, and could this be one of the biggest moments of the test match?
Well, Temba Bavuma is very quick as well, and he got rid of this ball quickly and accurately.
It's a special journey, and no doubt that will come about. And I look at the Sharks. You're obviously here visiting on a different capacity. They're involved with the Sharks. I guess there's a broader expectation in terms of development and looking after regions like the Eastern Cape. Those kind of things, they really, I'm sure, sell to you, a person who's come through the development ranks in South African cricket, a different sporting code, but nonetheless, it's the journey of the black child, of any young South African child, that can make that rise from nothing to something.
Yeah, true. I mean, that was one of the things that they spoke about, how they are so invested in players' journeys, and really trying to help them to tell their story. I've spoken a lot to Michael Yomak. He's the guy that kind of heads up everything. I mean, he speaks a lot about development. He speaks a lot about uplifting communities, adding a value, and it's not just something he says. He actually does it in his own personal capacity. And I mean, there's no other way for you to really believe someone when he's actually, you know, taking money out of his own pocket and trying to uplift community here in South Africa. Mind you, he's not even from South Africa, but he sees the need to do that. So I mean, for me, those type of things, they speak strongly to me.
You mentioned, you know, opportunities you would have gotten at a young age. Take me back to that. I mean, I guess a lot of us who grew up in the township, you know, the first time you kind of experience cricket is when you go to the model city schools. But I know Gwalanga is a very, you know, sport is a big thing there. So take me through, I guess, that part of your life and just first identifying the game of cricket and I guess the joy it brought you.
Yeah, so when growing up Gwalanga, I mean, there's lots of memories from an early childhood. The community itself is rich in sport, rich in culture. From a culture point of view, we've got people like Koprenda Fasi who came from there. Yeah, that's a culture. From a sporting point of view, I mean, there's a lot of us who've gone on to play first class and even international cricket for South Africa. From a soccer point of view, Thabo Ngomeni, and there's a lot of the guys. So, I mean, I grew up in that community. There was always that energy, that vibe around sport. Cricket was not my only thing that I did. I played soccer, and that's where I actually wanted to make it.
What's your nickname again?
In soccer,
yeah?
The guys call me Iniesta. That's what they call me now.
Is that what they call you?
That's what
is
they
that
call
not what
me
you gave
now.
yourself?
No, that's what they
fair
call
enough.
me.
You can carry on.
So Langa was on my mother's side. My uncles, all of them played cricket. So I mean, they would take me to the stadium when I was young. I'd watch them, and I guess that's where kind of the interest started. That's where the seed was planted, if you could say. We played a lot of street cricket, played a lot of street soccer and all of that. And I guess it was more just like an everyday thing. You know, the passion just kept being fueled. The skill got better, I guess. I think probably when I was about 10 or 11, yeah, I got my parents moved me to Sax College. And I think that's the first time where I started to get formal coaching. I remember my first coach at Sax was Andy Kirsten. I think he's still there now at the primary school. And I remember him telling me, I mean, I'm not the tallest guy now, so then I was probably here. And he'd say to me after practice, he'd be like, you need to work on 2 shots, 3 shots, the drive, the pull and the cut.
Shot.
And that's all we used to work on, maybe before and after training. And I mean, if you look at my game now, I think those are the only 3 shots that I can really play quite well. So yeah, that was Langa. And from there, I moved to Johannesburg. Family relocated to Johannesburg. And there in Johannesburg, I ended up at St. David's Maristananda. And that's where kind of the cricket kind of took over.
Certainly would be nervous.
It's gone fine. Will it go before? Moen Ali makes it 100 for Temba Bavuma.
Temba Bavuma, you beauty! What an awesome achievement. Yeah, the crowd going mad. Means a lot for him, means a lot for South Africa. There's his father. Everyone on their feet, rightly so.
And you speak of, I guess, life in Lukshini. I mean, you look back at that time, I mean, you spoke about street cricket. That was, I guess, one of the big highlights for a lot of us growing up in the township. Those battles against your friends. And then when you go and you play formal cricket and you get exposed to those different opportunities in life, it also just expands your horizon in terms of how you think, you know. And sometimes it's important that you also go back and you tell your friends, guys, there's other opportunities out there.
True. So like, I mean, thinking about the games we played, Gwalanga. So we almost had like in different streets or different 4-way streets. We started naming the streets after like iconic stadiums around the world. So I remember we'd have a part where the streetwear was a lot more clean, the road was done, it was a lot more level. We'd call that Lords. You know, none of us had ever been to Lords, but because there was this thing about Lords, we called that Lords. And then we had the other street that wasn't done up so well. There were potholes, and we'd call that Karachi. Obviously, if the ball hit, the ball goes the other way. So I guess things like that always kind of, like if I think back at it, they planted in your head.
I know you do have a lot of passion in terms of helping young people, giving back. Let's talk about the Temba Bavuma Foundation, you know, how that's gone, how that journey has been from a spiritual point of view, from a personal point of view, and I guess the growth of the foundation as a whole.
Essentially, the foundation is all about facilitating the emergence and development of sporting talent. We use sport and education as kind of our drivers. There's obviously also an infrastructure side to it. And I guess the foundation, whenever I look at it, it's kind of looking at my development as a kid who came from Gwalanga. I was taken out of that system. I had the opportunity to go to the top sporting schools in your country through external intervention, bursaries and scholarships. And whilst I was in the system, I had access to everything, whether it's from a sporting point of view, whether it's from an educational point of view. And I guess I was put in a position where I could succeed, you know, and that's what we're trying to do with the foundation, is to help, you know, kids who are in environments that are under-resourced, you know, to try achieve their potential.
There could be a young girl or boy listening to this interview in terms of attaining those dreams, achieving those dreams, or at least giving yourself the best opportunity to do so. What message would you have for them in closing?
Look, I mean, I still remember what I was told when I was young. And it's quite simple. We've heard it a lot, I think. And it's, if you have a dream, you know, go for it. Understand that in your pursuit of those dreams, it won't be easy. There will be challenges, there will be obstacles. But if you really, really believe in that dream, you'll find a way to overcome.
Temba Bavuma, Coaches Limited Overs captain, an inspiration, a South African through and through. We salute you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.